What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's episode, I'm going to show you guys how to put OEM style fender flares on your Ram 1500. All right, guys, so first things first, these are the RedRock OEM style fender flares for 09 to 18 Ram 1500s. So as you guys can see, I had already painted these. I wanted to paint them just to color match. So the only thing that I kind of didn't like about these fender flares is basically, as you can see here, there's a little bit of a texture to them. I guess that's just that way you can leave them unpainted and it doesn't look weird. You know, I think with the color match it looks okay. It's not super gloss smooth like the actual OEM ones are, but I think they're still gonna look good. But besides that, let's see how they fit. So this fender flare with the line in it here is the front fender flare, and then this larger one is going to go on the rear. So basically for each one of these, I already put some 3M tape on the back here. Just that way it holds in a little bit stronger and it's not gonna like flap around here on the top, because these fender flares are only gonna be held in with these bolt holes here on the bottom. So I just wanted to make sure that it's not poking out or anything weird. And then I did the same thing on the back one as well. So I don't know if you really need to do that because these fender flares didn't come with 3M tape already on them. Some of them do. I don't know if that's, you know, necessary on these ones, but I just thought that, you know, better safe than sorry. I'd rather just do it right the first time. All right, so we're gonna start off with the front here. So first thing I did is I just wiped down the edge of the fender, so that way the adhesive is gonna stick here. I also went ahead and any like scratches that I saw on the fender, I just filled with some paint so that way I don't have any rust issues in the future. And then so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out all the screws that go around the fender liner here and make sure that you get any clips, anything like that, so that way we can test fit the fender flare. All right, so now in the hardware kit, you're gonna have your screw, you're gonna have this clip here, and you're gonna have these little tabs. So basically what's gonna happen is you're going to have this tab, you're gonna slide into here, that's gonna protect your paint, and you're going to pop this guy into your fender, and you're going to basically put the screw in after that, obviously. So that's going to be what keeps your fender flare in place. And so we're gonna test fit it by putting this one into the very top center of the fender, just that way your fender flare hangs there, and then we can kind of test fit it. So there's two holes here. You're gonna use this back one right here for the passenger side. So we're just gonna pop that guy in there. It also helps if you have a ratchet with a Phillips bit here, just that way you're not using such a long screwdriver and trying to get around the wheel. That kind of makes it a pain in the ass. All right, so now that the fender flare is test fitted, you're gonna wanna put bolts basically in each one of these holes here, and then from there, we're gonna move on to the back as long as everything fits well. All right, so now that everything's kind of in place, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I like to leave kind of a little tab right here, just so you can pull the rest of the 3M tape cover off and then basically press it to the fender. So at this point, I'm gonna pull this off, press it onto the fender, and then I'm gonna fit the rest of the screws. I'd say that fits pretty well. The only thing that I forgot to mention is up here. This obviously is sticking out a little bit. So I'm gonna put some 3M tape on kind of the corner here, and then I'm gonna get a clamp it down, so that way it holds it firm there while it sets. Honestly, I don't know how long it's gonna last because it does feel like there's a good amount of pressure here trying to force it outward. So we'll try that. If not, then we might have to figure out something else. But for now, I think it'll be our best option. All right, as you guys can see, I just put a clamp on basically the bumper and the fender flare. I put some 3M tape about right here and hopefully it holds. All right, moving on to the back here. As you guys can see, most of the fender is pretty rust free, but right here there was a little bit of rust on the corner, so I just ground that down, repainted it, and hopefully that seals it off enough so that way I don't have any rust in the future. So now it's pretty much the same procedure. I just cleaned off the quarter panel here, and then now we're going to take out all the 8mm bolts that are in the quarter panel. If you have OEM plastics that go right here, or you have the mud flaps, you'll have to take those off to install the fender flares. I don't think that they'll fit back on with the fender flares on there, so those will have to be removed. So on the rear, most of these have OEM holes that you can thread bolts into. So we'll pretty much just be using all of the OEM ones. The only one that you're gonna have to add one of those clips to is this bottom one, and that's gonna suck the fender flare in just a little bit tighter right here. So now we're gonna put the fender flare on, and we're gonna add a bolt right here, just that way we can test fit it. So now it's time to add all of our bolts into the other holes and get it final fitted. All right, so now we're just gonna pull off our 3M tape, press it to the quarter panel, and we're all done. And now you're gonna repeat the exact same process on the other side. We are all finished up with the installation of the RedRock OEM style fender flares. I honestly think they look really nice. Plus, I had some dings and stuff and some scratches on my fenders and quarter panels. So it hides those, looks really nice. And yeah, I'm actually really happy with how it came out. Really, my only gripe with this kit is for the Ram 1500 Sport. I don't know if it's any different with the base model, but for the Sport, it looks like this corner really pushes out a little bit more than in the pictures. You know, even with the 3M tape that I've got in there, it still just really doesn't want to fit in there snug. So I might have to look into something different for that later down the road, but you know, for now, it doesn't bother me too much, and I still think it looks great. All right, guys, that does it for this week. But if you enjoyed the content for today, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.